Climate change. 1. Define the task clearly. Learning goal. Students can define the probable causes in order to solve problems.
In a science project, students are presented a series of materials showing that the Earth is under severe influence of climate change.
They are expected to analyze the data at hand, conclude some possible solutions, and participate with proper means of tools to slow down the process of climate change.
Weather indicates the change of temperature, precipitation at a particular region in a short period of time.
Climate, on the other hand, shows the periodic and regular shifting of weathers in bigger regions.
Meteorology is the scientific study of weather and climate. Over the decades, the meteorologists have more than once urged every one of us to take the issue of climate change seriously.
However, is the situation as critical as the meteorologists state?
One reason most people do not or cannot relate to climate change is the process of the change is too broad and gradual, and we are simply too petite to notice.
We sense the change of the temperature because we can feel hot and cold. We pay attention to the rain because we do not want to get wet on our way to school or work. We do know something about the weather. However, climate is not weather. Weather changes daily and affects on smaller areas.
The average pattern of weather conditions over a long period of time in the scale of a state, country, continent, or the globe is climate.
As a fact, the climate of our Earth changes constantly. Still, despite the predictable variation, our Earth's temperature has been increasing over a long period of time with solid proof.
The excessive release of carbon dioxide, CO2, is the primary cause. Burning of coal, natural gas, and oil and wood releases CO2 into Earth's atmosphere. CO2 works like a teapot jacket and traps the heat within the atmosphere.
With the unchanged amount of sunlight, thicker coating covering the Earth, our Earth is slowly being heated up.
Normally, we do not sense the difference of 1 degree Celsius. But don't we all agree 1 degree Celsius can be the indicator that someone is having a fever?
And imagine this. For all the water in the world that freezes at the temperature of 0 degrees Celsius, what happens when it is 1 degree Celsius? What's worse is, what if the warming does not stop at 1 degree Celsius?
Not only is it returning to 0, but it is going towards 2 as well. That means more water that used to be ice in colder places will be melting, and the water is going into the ocean.
About 10% of land area on Earth is covered with glacial ice, glacier, ice caps, and ice sheets. Even a slight amount of this percent goes into the ocean, it will result in rising of sea level and provoke evaporation process.
Coastal areas and deltas will be covered and flooded by risen seawater. It means we will be losing a lot of coastal cities and habitable lands.
When global evaporation process is provoked and stimulated, we are likely to have stronger typhoons, more uncontrollable storms, and all other kinds of extreme weather conditions.
To reverse the warming process, know that we really are at the point of no return. The only thing we can do is slow down anything that promotes releasing excessive amount of carbon dioxide our world can handle.